Hello, everybody! Excited Utterance here, EU or AU, because I'm in Australia. My name is Hella, and I am from Brisbane, Australia. I'm coming to you on a Saturday morning here in Brisbane. The time here is 9:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. And it's 9:30 a.m. down in the southern states. Over in the US, I believe it is 5 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern, wherever it
5:30.
is. What? Oh, okay. That's Darlie talking to me
Sorry.
from backstage.
Whoops.
I'm gonna mute you. Um, he's going to be here in a minute. Wherever it is, whatever time it is for you on this round Earth, thank you for joining me on YouTube and on the Twitters. We are going to be talking today about the last few days of testimony in the very, very controversial Bruce Lehrmann versus Network 10 defamation trial. And I'm going to be abiding by all the court orders, not showing any footage, audio, or pictures, or anything like that. Everything you see and hear today is commentary only. No legal advice, no medical advice, no nothing. Please like and subscribe. And there is a content warning down the bottom there because there are some disturbing things that were spoken about in the testimony. So with all that aside, I am going to be bringing in a co-host today from the and shall we? Let's do this. Hello, this is Salvador Dali on my right. Yay, I got it. Hello. Oh, did I mute you? I muted you.
Any free to unmute me? I want to be Passag.
Oh, he said Passag. For any Australians watching, the Americans don't actually know what Passag means. So if you start talking to an American and you say, "You're being so Passag," they're like,
Huh?
"What?" Okay, so Passag means passive aggressive people.
Yes.
And when I first started talking to Americans about being passive aggressive, being Passag, they were like, "What?" Yeah.
I had no
We
idea.
shorten everything. We shorten everything. Hello, Christine. We've got your new comp.
Computer?
Oh, computer. You got a computer? Yay. Now you can live stream for real. Oh, so exciting. Hello, Paige. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are going out to the Twitters today for real. The other day I said that we were going out to the Twitters and I kind of messed up and we weren't. Okay. Watch this page. I learned from Pixie that you guys call hot dogs sausage sizzles. Sizzlers, kind of something like that. Yeah, kind of. We call them sausage sizzles. Yeah, we do.
Yummy.
Something like that. Yummy. Yes, we do. So let's get into it, shall we? We have a few days of testimony to cover. So this is a court review, weekend catch up of the defamation trial, Lehrmann versus Network 10, and it has been, the last few days have been full on, as you would expect. And the Twitters have been going crazy. In fact, there have been a couple of times when Justice Lee has been brought some things from the cesspit, as one of the lawyers refers to it. That's Stephen Wybrow SC, brought something in to Justice Lee and said it didn't take much trawling of the cesspit to bring this up. And Justice Lee brought to the attention of the public that if anything was to be of concern to him, any haranguing of the witnesses, of the lawyers, of anybody in the court staff, if it was to be worrying to him, he would take down the live stream.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, we left the proceedings wondering whether or not the live stream was even going to be there on the Friday. Hello, online Reg. My consumption of Aussie podcasts has given me insight into the shortening of words. It's absolutely your fault. I say sus, and people think I'm crazy. Sus is a great term. Sus means suspicious. And when we want to be a little bit facetious about it, we go, nothing sus. And hello this way up, all the way from the UK.
Hey,
Hello, and David's here too. Hey, hey, hey. David is here. Stop pressing on it.
I didn't.
Didn't you?
No,
Oh, I thought we were both pressing on it at the same time.
no.
So I couldn't get David's comment to come up.
Couldn't get David to come up.
Couldn't get David to come up. For those who don't know, Dali and I both have control over this software, StreamYard. And so sometimes we both try and press on the same comment at once. And we have this little fight between one another because we can't get the thing to come up on the screen. And we go, stop pressing on it. All right, let's get into it, shall we? It's good to have you all here.
Yes.
And let's get moving. So the last time I did a review was on my Wednesday night. So I covered Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the proceedings. And so now we're just doing a 2-day catch up. So that would be Thursday and Friday. And last time we left, Miss Higgins, who is the accuser of Bruce Lehrmann, was on the stand. And I believe, yes, she was still on the stand Thursday morning. Defense witness Brittany Higgins. Thursday morning began with Brittany Higgins back in the witness box on direct examination by Dr. Collins. So she was still on direct at that point. Yes, still on direct. So there she was. If I just remind you that she was talking on direct on the Wednesday. She gave some really brutal testimony. There was lots of tears and things like that. And I didn't go into great detail about that because it was pretty nasty. And I said to everybody, you can just go look that up on Google. There's plenty of news reports as to what she said. Okay, so she also said that when she worked for Senator Michaelia Cash in October 2019, she was told there'd been a media inquiry about an essay in Linda Reynolds' office. Now, Linda Reynolds' office was the office that she alleged that she was graded in. That is the office, right? So here it is here. Now, Higgins said, immediately, Michaelia Cash embraced me and gave me a hug. Right now, I'm going to show you the office in more detail. There's the office. Right, and I've brightened it up a little bit so you can see it. So that's Senator Linda Reynolds' office. It's a ministerial suite. Photo is tendered in evidence in court. I assume that's the couch in question.
I don't see anything on screen.
You don't see anything on screen?
No, I mean, are you playing something?
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
I just see the court review. Okay, yeah, it's not showing. Thought it was me.
What's
It's
going
not
on?
showing. Okay, hello, David. How's it going?
Good.
Something's going wrong with my sharing here. So I'm just going to try and
On the YouTubes, I see court review, weekend catch up, blah blah blah. But right now, I see nothing.
Okay. I'm going to go back. What can you see now? Anything?
Nothing in StreamYard.
I see nothing in StreamYard, and I only see the title of the show on YouTube's.
Okay, let me just check this.
StreamYard is being lame.
Now I see nothing on the YouTubes.
You see nothing on the YouTubes.
Well, I see us, but that's it. It
You
looks
see
the same
us?
as it looks the same as it does on StreamYard.
Okay, so hang on a minute. I'm just going to check what you guys can see. I'll see if I can see the same thing.
I always
so
have
can
my
understand
stream
what's
up, by
going
the
on.
way.
I need
Whenever
to
I'm
do
streaming
that.
something, I always have my stream up. That's partly why I ended up getting an extra monitor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have 3 monitors.
So how you
They're all
guys been?
good?
Not bad. How about you?
Not too bad. I hear we had cross-examination of the accused.
Okay, I can see what we can see. Cool. I'm going to share again then, if that's the case. Let's see if that works. StreamYard is being weird. I'll tell you that.
That's weird. Do you want to try to back out and start over?
Back out what?
Well, like
I
if you
mean,
shut
like,
it
log
down,
out.
restart your computer and try it again.
Well, you
we
can see
we
me.
can hang out for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was thinking, what I do is I actually just remove my presentation and then represent.
Try that.
Represent everybody. So let's try that, shall we? Thank you for being so patient.
God damn it.
Can you see
Ooh,
anything now?
I see
can't
stuff now.
You see it now?
Defense
Yeah.
witness Brittany Higgins.
Yes. Yes. We're
She's
back.
the j'accuse, right?
She's the accuser.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can move on. Thank goodness. Thank you for everybody for pointing that out. There we go. Thank you, old lad Red. Nothing but two roos. Oh yeah, there were two roos in the background. Oh, this way up. You're correct. All right, moving on.
By the way, did you see my tweet the other day about Australia?
What about Australia?
It was
kangaroo.
punches kangaroo or 6 foot tall kangaroo that's trying to drown his dog, and it was SNL. And it's like, so Australia, which is something like Mad Libs, like it's just like
I did see that. I did see that. I was like, don't punch kangaroos. They're lovely.
6 foot tall kangaroo trying to kill your dog by drowning it.
Well, I've never heard of that before. And there are a lot of myths, let's just say. Okay, back to the case at hand. So now you can see the office, correct?
I see an office, yes.
Yes, okay.
Kind of
so
a boring office.
Yes, it is, but I wouldn't mind an office like this.
The shenanigans take place on the couch.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly. All right. So this is the photo that was tendered to court. So Senator Linda Reynolds' office, the ministerial suite, and supposedly that is the couch in question, I believe. Right. So Ms. Higgins found naked on the 23rd of March, 2019, apparently on that couch, and also apparently she was made to have a meeting about the alleged incident in that office on that couch, which is in poor taste.
Do you think she sat on the left or the right?
I don't know.
I'm looking at the couch cushions. So you could tell that most people sit on the left.
You think? Why?
Yes. Because it's wrinkly.
Yeah.
Because it's wrinkly.
It's wrinkly on the left.
Fabric is stretched.
You've never bought a used couch before, have you?
No, I've never.
Or an IKEA couch after 6 months.
See, look. See, it's all wrinkly on the left.
Oh, it is wrinkly on the left. You're right. There's like bum marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
like
the
Homer
used
with his couch groove.
Yes.
It's like I've worked for
Gotta
years
settle
on
into
this
that.
couch groove. Oh, David. Okay, so also, defense witness Brittany Higgins said, Higgins gave testimony that Michaelia Cash assured her she would make the media inquiry about the essay go away. The court was played a voicemail message from Cash, which assured Higgins that everything would be okay. All right, so now we're getting into some testimony about how there was supposedly some sort of like cover up within the government at the time, or her bosses at the time. Right, so it was revealed that Higgins discovered through Samantha Maiden, a journalist at news.com.au, that Lehrmann was planning to deny any sexual contact between the two, and Higgins expressed relief upon learning this news, as she was concerned that Lehrmann might argue the encounter was consensual. Now, this is important because if he had argued that it was consensual, that would have been much more difficult for him to, it would have been easier for him to have been acquitted, I suppose. Because if you think about criminal trials where there is a grape charge, when there's argument over whether or not she was consenting, that becomes far more nuanced, doesn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, right. So she's saying that she was actually relieved when she found out that he was saying that there was nothing that happened. Here we go. I was really relieved, Higgins said. I thought that like we were going to have this very nuanced debate about consent and alcohol and all this kind of stuff. And I was really shocked and kind of happy at the time that he was saying that nothing had happened. Because to me, in my mind, it was so preposterous.
Wait, so this is the accuser that's saying
Yes.
she thought it was all preposterous. Those are her words.
That's her words. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. So
seems to be inconsistent with her accusation.
Yeah. Well, and this is, I was saying before you arrived, David, that the cross-examination, we're not up to cross-examination yet, but the cross-examination has been, they've been impeaching her. He's been impeaching her on her testimony because she's testified before in a criminal trial. And there's been many times when she's spoken on the record, on the public record, like in news interviews and things like that. And there's been so many times when her words have changed. And there have been lots of things that have been said by her that aren't actually integral to the core of the story. But her timeline of events have changed and things like that. And I suppose to the public, it looks a little bit like he's nitpicking the cross-examiner. And I suppose to the public, it sort of looks a little bit like, well, you're just trying to make it look like she's lying. And that's kind of what lawyers do. You know, like it's sort of his job.
Yeah, that's kind of the job. Yeah.
That's kind of the job. Yeah. So we'll get to a little bit of that in a minute. So Higgins cross-examination. Are we into cross? Yes, we're into cross. So Stephen Wybrow at C, which is senior counsel. That started at 11:15 a.m. So this is on the Thursday. Higgins cross-examination by Lehrmann's barrister Stephen Wybrow at C began at 11:15. She remains under cross-examination at court's adjournment for the weekend. So from 11:15 a.m. on Thursday all the way through to right now, she's still under cross-examination. So, and I assume she will be for a little bit longer. Yes.
Isn't it Saturday there now?
It is Saturday now. Yeah.
They have court on Saturdays?
No.
Okay.
Cool. So Wybrow began by asking Higgins about the time she spent with Ten's legal team preparing for her evidence. So obviously, leading up to this trial, she spent some time with Network 10, who is the defense in this particular trial, talking about what her evidence was going to be. Higgins stated she had 4 key meetings over 2 months with Network 10 and had to go over her text messages.
Who's Network 10? This is a news agency, right?
Yes.
Why did she have to have meetings with them?
Because she was, good question, I suppose.
Well, I mean, is this the way you phrase it? Like, I had to sit down with, Fox News and do that. No, you didn't. It's just a weird thing to say.
Well, she's a witness for the defense, I suppose. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Higgins agreed. She gave a statutory declaration to Channel 10 ahead of the project interview going to air. Higgins stated she had, 4 key meetings. Yeah, that's what. Sorry, I just read that. But yeah, she agreed she had a statutory declaration. She agreed she gave a statutory declaration to Channel 10. So the thing is that with that, this is a key part of the network's defense. She gave them a statutory declaration saying that she was telling the truth, right? So as far as Network 10 is concerned, she wrote something down. It's a legal document saying that what I'm telling you is the truth. So therefore you're reporting the truth, right? So it's a very important part of that.
Well, yeah. And just so people, when we talk about defamation, at least in general, I don't know how it is in Australia, but at least in the US, in order to hold a newspaper liable for defamation or liable or anything like that, they have to show. Think of the Johnny Depp case in the UK. You have to show that the newspaper knew that it was false, and if they have an affirmative statement, otherwise, they can run with that. According to Higgins, this is what happened. That's enough to keep the newspaper
Their asses are covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to the congressional offices, but with less constituent-related crazy swag. I don't understand that, old line red. But I'll read your other one. Who wants to have a nuanced conversation with their gravest about consent? I'd want a more throwing hands kind of conversation. Yeah, well, I mean, who wants to have any conversation with their gravest, really?
I do. I have questions.
I have many questions.
With yours?
Yes.
Who touched you, David?
Well, do we want to discuss this now, Salvador? Do you want to have this conversation now, you and me?
Okay.
Salvador.
No.
Oh, you're the
Sorry.
one who sent it, hey, David. You're the one who sent him a bag of dicks.
I was.
Oh,
I
yeah, David sexually harassed me.
He sure did.
How were they? They tasty?
They weren't bad. I ate some of them.
Yeah, I saw you eating them. I saw it. I have evidence. I have receipts. What's this? Catch him outside. Dennis, yeah, catch him outside. Catch me outside. How about that? Okay, so Higgins said, I declare it now. Oh, this is important. Right, hang on, just backing up a sec. I think I missed something. Yes. Then the topic of Higgins' financial interest in the outcome of the case came up. Ooh, this was fiery. Right, so things got a little heated. She told the court she did sign a book contract, but it's been on pause due to all the legal cases she's involved in. This is a little bit of an Amber Heard moment, right? So remember the whole pledge thing?
Yeah.
Yep. So, I remember I messaged Darlie at the time this happened. And she said, she broke out into a statement, which is kind of a non-responsive statement. It had nothing to do with what was going on. And she said, I declare it now. If I ever actually finish the book, I will donate the 200 whatever was the actual kind of word she said. But it was the contractual sum of $216,667 to charity. I don't care about the money. Take it as an oath right now. I don't care about it. And she put her hands up like this. Yep.
Nice. Did she not learn? Did she not watch the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial?
Seriously, did you not? You pledge it. Yeah.
And then, I didn't write it here because this was struck from the record. But then the council said, well, what about the money the Commonwealth gave you? And then there was an objection.
Ooh.
Right. And so what the council was talking about was the $3 million that was given to her by the Commonwealth.
To shut her up? Or?
No, well, I don't know. But it was because of unsafe work practices or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a compensation for her pain and suffering or something to do with unsafe work practices.
I have a question. Is this more of a woman who is regretting her legitimate consensual decisions from the night before sort of situation, or is there actually like anything to this?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that Bruce Lehrmann has not been found guilty of any crime whatsoever, and he states that nothing happened at all.
Okay.
As far as he's concerned, he went into his office, and unfortunately, he has a few different stories as to what he did in his office. The one he's sticking to now is that he did some work, writing down notes to do with a conversation that he had at the bar earlier with some colleagues about submarines that were being moved in regard to something to do with the fact that
Are
he
these
works for the
people in
defense
charge
sector.
of your national defense?
Not in charge. They were administrators, but yeah, they were out drinking on a Friday night. Right, here's the problem. We have an alcohol problem in this country, David.
Well, if it's any indication by some of the YouTubers.
we haven't, and I'm going to go off on a complete tangent right now. This is not the case, right? It's nothing to do with this actual case. Well, it kind of is, but I'm going to go on tangent right now. These guys were 20, she was 20, and he was 24. And what I'm seeing from the CCTV and from all of the recollections of this night, the text messages and everything, this is so standard to what happens in workplaces. Everyone goes out on a Friday night and they get absolutely shit-faced, right? And stuff like this, whether it be grape or just people getting so blind drunk that they can't even get up, happens all the time, right? It happens. And people get put into these situations where they feel like they have to go out getting blind drunk with their colleagues, or they can't progress in their job, right? Because otherwise, people who do go and get blind drunk with their colleagues are the ones who have some like relationship with the rest of their colleagues. If you don't go out and get blind drunk with your colleagues, then you aren't friends with everybody else, like you're on the outer.
That's
right?
fair.
And I hear this all the time. I've heard it from friends in the legal profession. I've heard it from friends in other corporations. And it's just, you have to go and get sloshed every Friday night with your colleagues, or you're not part of the group.
I feel like that's very Asian of you Australians to do that.
I think it's Asian. It's Australian. It is Australian.
You're in Asia. Well, you're in that part of the world.
Luckily, we have zero alcohol problems amongst our congressmen and women and their legislative staff, really.
Yeah, right.
So you don't have that problem there. All you have to do is drive around our city streets here in Australia on a Friday or a Saturday night, and you'll see 19, 20, 21-year-olds, girls, call them girls, and guys, absolutely falling over sick in the gutters, literally in the gutters. Do
you call them Sheilas?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Absolutely. We never use the term Sheilas. That's just a myth.
Is that a dated term, or it just never existed?
I don't think it ever existed, to be honest. I think it's like a movie thing. Anyway, yeah. So I'm not saying that anything happened or didn't happen. I'm just saying that people get so drunk, they don't have no idea what has happened to them. Like, no one has any clue what's going on. Later, Higgins was questioned at length over her prior accounts of a panic attack when she had stated she had locked herself in the bathroom at work for 3 hours. She admitted under cross-examination that it had not been 3 hours, but it felt like a long time. And this is where we start to get into, we start to get into this whole nitpicking, and people calling it nitpicking online about her testimony. Okay. Whitebrow suggested to Higgins that she modified and changed her evidence as she discovered additional information. Higgins said that her memory was imperfect, but said, "I know what happened during that day."
Wait.
Now,
Ivermectin is coming in chat. Sorry, completely off topic. Chauvin
what?
got stabbed 22 times. Wow.
Well,
I mean, those
what
shivs
again?
are pretty small.
What is this? What? When? Just
He was
now?
stabbed like earlier this week.
What? Did they let him back in there already?
Well,
No, I'm guessing
no.
This is the number of times he got stabbed
Oh.
or stabulated.
Yeah.
But I mean, the
Okay.
shivs are kind of like small.
Yeah, you got to be
You have
able
to
to put
really
them in your prison pocket, so they
Yeah.
got to be small.
Okay. So is this new information to like?
I
It
think
sounds
so.
like it, because I've
I
never
haven't
heard
heard
that.
No, me neither. I thought it was like once or twice. Wow. Okay. Crazy.
What are roses?
Okay. Now, roses are chocolate.
Is that Cadbury?
There you go. Cadbury, yeah.
You guys have Cadbury like just normally?
Yeah, don't you?
Only Easter.
Okay. So yeah, Cadbury's our main chocolate. In fact, the other day I was referring to you, David, as a Cadbury boy, because the advertising for Cadbury is there's a glass and a half in every one. And we call people who get really drunk very easily Cadbury boys, because they get drunk. They get drunk after just a glass and a half. So
That sounds about right.
yeah. So it's so true. Hello, Snivels. How's it going? You're so cute. Yeah, so yeah, just the other day I was saying in Australia you'd be called a Cadbury boy.
Sort of white girl wasted.
White girl wasted, pretty much, yeah. Okay, so then it really started to get full on with the whole cross-examination, picking at detail, right? So at one point during this whole thing about whether or not she had a panic attack and how long the panic attack went for, and then what happened and what she said about it prior, there was this whole thing about this box of Rose's chocolates, right? And it went on and on and on. So there's a long back and forth about this box of Rose's chocolates. Justice Lee eventually intervened. So did she eat the box of Rose's chocolates in the kitchen? Was it in the DLO office? They didn't talk about whether it was caramel or Turkish delight. I just chucked that in there for fun. But basically, she said that she walked through the kitchen into the DLO office, and earlier she had said that she found the box of Rose's chocolates in the DLO office and ate them in there. Then she said that she found the box of Rose's chocolates in the kitchen, and then she brought them into the DL office and ate them in there. And then she said that she didn't know where the box of Rose's chocolates came from, and blah, 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 blah. And Stephen
Sounds more like something consensual.
with the box of Rose's chocolates. And it went back and forth and back and forth. And Justice Lee eventually said, look, I don't think that this is really, there's something in Euphrates of the case. I can't remember what the term was, but it's basically not the linchpin of the case. And really, who cares? But it was classic cross-examination. It was trying to say that you keep changing the story. Well, we know one thing. She got bad taste in chocolate. No, she doesn't. Rose's chocolates are great.
I love Cadbury cream eggs.
Yeah, they're very
Cadbury
sweet though. They're ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I can only eat like half of one.
Yeah. So she ate the whole box of chocolates, and they weren't hers. She did steal a box of chocolates. We know she stole a box of chocolates. She admitted it on the stand.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wybrow brought forth other examples of evidence showing Higgins' story changing over time, including a recorded interview with Network 10, where she said the security officers yelled into the minister's office and woke her up. Higgins said, yes, that's what I said, but I don't believe that's true now. Wybrow said, the reason you don't believe it's true is because having reverse engineered other evidence, it doesn't fit with all the other things you said. Is that correct? Cringe. Higgins, my memory was jogged by other evidence, and I accept that it's true. I realize that in those moments of trauma, my memory wasn't perfect. I remember them, the security guards calling into the office. Okay, so later, the issue of the white dress was raised. So that's the white dress.
This is like the blue dress.
Yeah.
Infamous blue dress.
Yeah.
They should have that in the Smithsonian.
Hello, Harparish. Good to see you.
What happened to that dress, by the way?
What blue
It's
dress?
got to be in the Smithsonian or something. It's in
Really?
it's in the Clinton presidential library.
Oh, that blue dress.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, so this white dress has been talked about at length.
How many years ago did this happen?
It was 2019.
Okay, she's gained a lot of weight since.
Yeah. She gained and lost and gained and lost, and at the moment she's a little bit heavier. But anyway,
I can fix her.
So she's quite happy. She has her $3 million and her boyfriend now, and they're actually setting up a house in France.
Lame.
Yeah. Anyway, so the issue of the white dress was raised. Wybrow asked about her inconsistent accounts of the dress being around her waist as opposed to her being found naked. This led to a dramatic moment in court, and I'm going to repeat something that I wouldn't have repeated, but except for the fact that it was just such a massive moment. And yeah, I have the content warning up, so I'm going to say it anyway. as I was being raped, it wasn't my primary concern where my dress was. I was deeply more concerned about the penis in my vagina that I didn't want than I was about my dress.
I feel like that's an appropriate statement.
Yeah.
It was very appropriate. She got mad. She'd had enough.
Yeah.
She was done. She was sick of all of the toing and froing about all the little minutiae of detail, and she was like, I'm done. I was more upset about the fact that there was a dick in my badge.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki. Wow. Yep. Hey, Nikki.
Yeah, I like the passion. I mean, I don't know if I have no idea
Yeah,
what happened, but
I want to
fired
know
up.
how it came up, how it appeared rather.
It
I want
was.
to know how it appeared.
She had been like this for a while leading up to it, and then
So that's the white dress apparent supposedly on the day. Who's she walking with? Him?
yeah. So I'll go back. Hang on. So this
Walking arm in arm.
this is them. No, they're not arm in arm. He's behind her, and that's a security guard, and they're walking up the hallway. So the security guard is leading them up the hallway, and she's about to lead them into a office.
do you want to explain to Nikki real quick what's going on?
Oh, Nikki,
Right.
no, Nikki's been around for the previous stream.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically where we got to just now, Nikki, is Brittany Higgins is under cross-examination, and she's getting really upset about the fact that the lawyer has been asking her very detailed questions about the day and the days after the alleged rape, and she got really fired up, and that's when she said, look, I'm not concerned about where my dress was. I was more concerned about the penis in my vagina that I didn't want there, right? And she got really, really upset at that point. She was
Good
just
thing
like,
it's a
and not
bench
crying or
trial.
anything. She was angry.
That
Yeah.
would not fly well with the jury.
The jury would have been big time on her side at that point.
Yeah.
I would say.
No,
they
there
would
is
have
no
been-
jury for this, right?
No,
No,
it's a bench trial.
Yeah.
It's a bench trial. But the thing is, it's not him versus her. It's him versus the media. But she is a witness for the media.
Okay.
So for the defense. But yeah, I mean, you should have seen Twitter go off. Like, it's crazy. This has been trending big time in my part of the world for the last week. Yeah, so that was the dramatic moment. Well, there's been lots of dramatic moments, but that was the dramatic moment on Thursday afternoon.
So she looks better from behind in that photo than she does currently today. I'm wondering, has her face improved or has it downgraded? Because
David.
I'm asking
Maybe she
honestly.
got some plastic surgery.
That nose, it's like squished and flattened out. Not a fan of the face.
Okay. Things got even more heated when Wybrow put this to Higgins. Wybrow, and you didn't have sex with anybody that night. You passed out drunk in the minister's personal suite. That's correct, isn't it? Oh, he's not getting popular. And Higgins said, it's insulting and it's incorrect, but you're entitled to your opinion. My job is not that important. Yeah, okay. So even after she fired up like that, he didn't quit. He's an attack dog.
Wait a minute. The implication made by the question that she passed out drunk in the minister's personal suite somehow implies that he could just have his way with her. That's a better outcome than she was conscious during this event.
No. Wybrow's suggesting that his client went nowhere near her, right?
Okay.
That she just went in there and passed out.
Okay, all right.
And no, they're trying to say that she changed about how her dress was positioned and things like that. So they're impeaching her.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So because Lehrmann has said all along he didn't touch her.
Yeah.
He didn't. There was nothing. There was not consensual. There was no nothing. All right. He went into a different room. He went to his office. All right. So nothing. So yeah. So what his counsel is putting forth is that she just went in there and passed out because she was that drunk.
Do you have to testify in Australia in a criminal trial?
In a criminal trial, no.
Okay.
No. But this is a civil trial.
No, I know. I was just curious.
Yes, but no. He didn't. He did not testify in his criminal trial. No. Higgins denied intentionally giving false evidence, saying she was traumatized and her memory was impacted.
Oh, that memory is impacted is an issue.
Yeah. Now, also on Thursday, Justice Michael Lee warned if members of the public denigrate the barristers on social media, he will reconsider allowing the case to be live streamed on YouTube. Lee heard that court staff were monitoring activity on X, formerly known as Twitter. I just make it perfectly clear to those observing that abuse of any legal practitioners involved in the case, it won't be tolerated, Lee said.
I heard that. This shenanigans.
The shenanigans. Now,
It was directed at me.
Yeah, sure, it was you. And if the situation becomes one which I consider the benefits of live streaming are outweighed by the fact that it's encouraging activity, which I regard undermines the integrity of the process, then I'll cease the live stream. Then, just so you know, the next morning, Lee was criticized by a member of the public for improper hand hygiene. But he did have a sense of humor about it. So he actually received an email, I think it was, from somebody who'd been watching the live stream, and it said, "Dear Justice Lee, I've noticed that you have a persistent cough and that you continue to cough into your right hand. This is also the hand with which you shake people's hands to greet them. This is disgusting and gross. I do hope that as a member of the, as a leader of the community, that you do avail yourself of better hand hygiene." And
he brought it up.
he read the whole thing out. He read the whole thing out, and he's like,
"That's funny."
And yeah, he did have a sense of humor about it, and he's like, "Okay, well, I suppose I should do better." And it was quite funny. And then
he does seem like a good judge. He's
a really nice judge, actually. And he's helped Brittany Higgins when she's been really flustered and just sort of got, listen, I think what the lawyers, he's helped both sides. He said, look, I think what they're trying to ask you is this. You need to try and not be non-responsive when they're asking you these questions. Stick to the answers. He has been very accommodating of the extra lawyer that's there, who really, it's not her trial, but she's trying to get in anyway. And he's been very mindful of the optics that are going on because there is a live stream. So Justice Lee, I think, is doing a fantastic job. But yeah, it was quite funny when he read that out. And then later, someone coughed. Actually, it was Stephen Wybrow coughed, and Stephen Wybrow came up and said, he goes, for the record, that was me coughing, Justice Lee. And Justice Lee was like, thank you. I don't want to get into any more trouble than I'm already in. That was quite funny. But they're not all used to being on camera.
No.
So this is all very new for them. So that was the end of day 7. Defense witness Brittany Higgins was on cross on Friday. So the issue of the white dress is still being discussed, this time in regard to Higgins' use of it after the alleged incident. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I've never really heard of anyone who has been assaulted in an outfit using the outfit again. But she used the outfit again, right? So she washed it and she used it at an event, right?
Well, I'm not Dr. G, but I still would find that odd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Dali is Dr. G.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dali?
Well, first of all, women shouldn't be wearing outfits twice in a row in the first place. So,
women shouldn't be wearing the same outfit twice in a row. Yeah, that's true.
Hey,
Hey,
half Irish.
You got home and you fed the cats. That's cool. Yeah, okay. So, Wybrow, do you have any recollection of your thought processes in wearing the dress that you say you were sexually assaulted in to the birthday party of the person you say for the last several weeks had been isolating you and treating you poorly? So, what he's referring to is her boss, right? So, apparently her boss had been isolating her, didn't want to talk to her, avoiding her, all because of these allegations.
So
and she wore the dress.
Was it a
to
male or
the
female
birthday
boss?
party. Female.
Okay.
Yep.
And she's claiming the female boss was covering this up?
Yeah. And so she wore the dress to her birthday party.
Maybe that could be a subtle FU to her.
Don't know. Anyway, so Higgins, yeah, of course, it was my favorite dress. I used to wear it all the time, and I guess I was trying to reclaim it. I couldn't, and so I never wore it after that event. So she did wear it to that event, but she didn't wear it after that.
But isn't this is all about whether or not the newspaper is liable for defamation, or not the newspaper, but Channel Network 10.
Channel Network 10. The newspaper have already
settled.
No, they haven't settled. For some reason, that one has gone away. I don't know why that one's gone away, but there's another network, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, who has settled. They also did some defamatory things apparently, but they didn't. Well, I have to take that back. Sorry, I misspoke. They settled without admitting fault.
So the issue is not whether or not the woman, Miss Higgins, told a lie necessarily, or whether or not the issue is not whether or not this event actually happened. The issue is whether or not the Network 10 was indifferent to the truth when they made the report.
Essentially, right? However, there is a truth defense.
So are they is the defense trying to prove that this in fact was true?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and yeah, they're trying to prove that there's enough truth to it that therefore they weren't reporting something that they didn't believe to be true. So on the balance of probabilities, not beyond reasonable doubt, but on the balance of probabilities, it's more than likely to be true. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It kind of works the same way.
Yeah. So photos and texts Higgins sent to a male friend while wearing the white dress at a Liberal Party function during the 2019 election campaign were shown. Wybrow said, I want to suggest to you, you took those photos and sent them because you hadn't been sexually assaulted in that dress. Higgins said, I understand that's what you're putting to me. You're incorrect. Right. So she took photos of herself in the dress. She sent them to basically someone she was flirting with and was going to be dating at the time. I remember it actually was brought up that the message that she sent along with it was working on my selfie game.
Oh, God. She's not acting like someone who has just been raped in that dress.
Maybe, yes. So the issue of a timeline Higgins prepared outlining her recollection of the alleged assault came up next. P.S. This lady on the right here, that's Lisa Wilkinson. She was the lady who interviewed her on Network 10. Wybrow put it to Higgins that she prepared the timeline for the media rather than the police. Higgins said, that's incorrect. It was prepared for me initially, and then I had the intention to give it to both the police and the project. The project is the name of the show. Higgins admitted to having made an error in the timeline regarding the date she went to the police. She said that it should have been 1 April instead of the 26th of March 2019. Ooh, that's a big one. Right, and even I made a timeline video about this, and because it's been published many times that she went to the police on the 26th of March, which is only 3 days after the alleged incident. And I have even got it wrong on my timeline.
Okay.
It wasn't until the 1st of April, which was what? March, April.
5
so
days?
It was another 5 days later. Right. So that changes.
So it actually happened on March 26th and not April 1st?
No, it happened on. Oh well, no, the alleged incident happened on the 23rd March, right? But she's saying here that she said that she went to the AFP, which is the Australian Federal Police, on the 26th of March, but actually she didn't go there till the 1st of April, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it was actually later than she originally stated. Again, the facts aren't quite right. Higgins also acknowledged making mistakes in the timeline. On further cross-examination, it was revealed that Higgins did feel negatively towards her former boss, Minister Reynolds. That's Minister Reynolds there.
Ugh.
You're right.
Good Lord. What is she, like the Karen of Karens?
I don't know. Her head looks like a golf ball.
I want to speak to your prime minister.
Well, okay. So she was actually the defense minister at the time. And okay,
These
I'll
are
tell you
people in
something.
charge of your nukes, folks. All you Australians.
Well,
These
she
are the
was.
people in
Terrified.
charge.
Okay, I'm terrified of Australia right now.
She was. She's not anymore. But I tell you what, like she's a conservative, so
They have their finger on the trigger, folks.
yeah. It's interesting though. Like, I feel bad for Ms. Reynolds. The reason why I feel bad for Ms. Reynolds is because she has been accused of covering this up. She's been accused of being misogynist. She's been accused of all the things because supposedly she didn't do enough to help Ms. Higgins, right? And she's actually been interviewed since and she's been very, very upset about these accusations because like they're just pure accusations. They're just throwing mud at a wall, you know, and I don't know what more she could have done really. Like what? Yeah, I don't know what more she could have done. And yeah, like I just feel like there are lots of scapegoats in this, and maybe Ms. Reynolds is one of them. Higgins said, Linda Reynolds avoided me in my view and did not meet her duty of care. I felt unsupported. I felt unsupported by both of them, Brown and Reynolds. Now, Brown was the chief of staff. But I don't count them as villains in this story. I just don't think that they did the right thing by me. What's the difference? Sorry, what's the difference? Like, this lady has been absolutely berated.
Yeah. In all seriousness, yeah, she's being accused of covering up.
She and the public have been so bad to her.
I'm sure.
Like, she is just.
Is her mouth too small for her head?
I think that's it. That is it.
I think that's it. I was like, I found it's just
And her haircut doesn't help.
Maybe that's it. Refuting Whitebell's claim, she denied leaking her story to the media as a means to harm the Liberal Party's reputation prior to the election. P.S. Liberal Party means Conservative Party in this country. Okay, so, and when I say Conservative Party, it's a coalition between what is the middle right to the far
Liberal
right.
means conservative.
Yeah, Labour means left.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah, so we have a Labour Party, and then we have a Liberal/National Party, and that's a coalition. So, yeah, it's confusing, I know, but at the time,
everything about Australia is confusing, so I'm just rolling with it.
Well, we kind of have like 3 political parties right now.
Yeah.
Democrats, rhinos, and mega Republicans.
The animals that exist. The fact that they are in the future, but also in the past at the same time is just everything about Australia is just it should exist, right? You could say that it does and it doesn't. We can have Joe. It shouldn't exist.
Well, sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder, I swear. Anyway, so Higgins said, I had no intention of impacting the election, but I did want to change the culture in Parliament House.
Do you have you have a king, right? King Charles.
We do have King Charles.
And so you have a prime minister, and basically you have one legislative body that makes all the rules and enforces them all, and has their button on the trigger and does all this stuff, just like England, right? I mean, the political system.
Pretty much, yes,
like
exactly. It's like England, yeah.
Do you have two houses?
Yes, a Senate and a House of Representatives.
And how is the Senate made up? Like how many senators? Just curious, how many senators and where do they come from?
I can't remember the number.
We're gonna do a stream. I want to compare. We're gonna do a stream. I won't derail this anymore. I want to talk about this more.
We'll do a stream, yeah. We'll do a separate stream on this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have to elect them all separately, the senators. So yeah. Anyway, you were talking about how Brittany's changed. So this is Brittany.
Oof.
Wait, which one?
On the right?
The left.
Oh.
On the left.
Higgins is on the left?
Yeah.
Wow.
2019 to now, 5 years?
Yeah.
She have kids? She get married?
She has a boyfriend, apparently. I asked.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Did she have kids or did she get married?
No, she didn't have kids. I barely recognize her here, even from the other photo and from the footage of her that night. I barely recognize her. I'm like, what is this photo?
What does the plaintiff look like back then?
Very similar to now. Very similar to now.
I was just amazed how much she changed. Hey, greedy bloke. I'm not saying like whatever. I'm not trying to judge her and say, oh, you know, she put herself out there or anything. I'm just amazed at how she looks now compared to how she looked then. Oh my God.
How greedy bloke.
She hit the wall hard. She did hit the wall hard. She flattened her. But look at her nose.
And then David goes and
but seriously, look at her nose here. And then look at her nose from, you know, like walking in the court last week. And it's seriously like flattened out. She literally did hit a wall, like Greedy Bloke said.
Like Wile E. Coyote.
Different.
Huh?
Okay, that's enough.
Sorry.
Legitimately, her face looks different. It's like
it does, right?
Person. It's like it's a different person. Very strange.
I'm being a little funny, but it really does look just her nose alone, right? You could say she gained weight, aged. Her nose looks different. Something's up.
That's very strange. Okay, so later it was revealed that Higgins secretly recorded a conversation with her second boss, Michaela Cash, for legal protection. So what happened was, after the incident and after she was working for Senator Reynolds, she moved offices to work for Michaela Cash. So still in Parliament, but working in a different office. So this is her second boss, Michaela Cash, right? And so she recorded a conversation with her for her legal protection, right? So Wybrow said, you had a conversation with Minister Cash on the 5th of February 2021. Higgins said, yes. Wybrow said, you recorded that secretly without telling her, didn't you?
Is a single party consent state?
Sorry, what does that mean?
Like,
can you record
in Michigan? I can record a conversation so long as I'm a party to it, and I don't have to get permission from others. Is that the same in Australia?
I don't know. In fact, there was some talk about that, and I don't know whether it was allowed in. The recording was allowed in. However, there was some argument between the lawyers about whether it should be, and it was. Yeah, I know you're going to have to talk to one of the maybe Aussie could answer that question on that.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see Becky Hill's son? Looks like the wiretap thing was trying to get information to see about the investigation into his mom.
Yes, I know. Yeah, in fact, I've got something on that on Hearsay for Days in 2 weeks.
Okay, great.
So make sure you tune in for that one. Higgins, I did it for my legal protection, Wybrow, and you immediately then sent it to your best friend. Higgins, yes, for safekeeping, Wybrow, and you offered it to Angus Llewellyn at the project. Now, he is the executive producer, I believe, of the project. And Higgins said, yes, I did. Oh, of course, yes, you did. Yes. Right. Moving on. Okay, and
not the same nose.
It's not, is it?
It's not. It's not. It's really not.
It's very strange. Okay, so the issue of whether the allegations being aired on the project were politically motivated continued with the tabling of an exhibit recording of pre-interview between Lisa Wilkinson and her producer Angus Llewellyn, conducted with Brittany Higgins and her partner David Shiraz. Alrighty, now this is where we get into them all talking about whether or not this is going to affect things politically. Hello, Bill. How are you?
Hey,
Hello. How are you? Okay.
Hey, VL Hammer, thanks for editing that video for me. And I did send it to Turtle Boy directly in a DM, and he's going to check it out. So
yeah, he did a video on the old one.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get it to him in time.
Oh,
I tweeted at him, but I didn't DM him.
Yeah. No, we had to listen to it yesterday. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shiraz suggested the project broadcast the story before the parliamentary sitting so that they, the Liberal Party, which is the Conservative Party, have to answer questions at question time. It's a mess for them. Shiraz, I've got a friend in Labor, Katie Gallagher, on the Labor side, who will probe and continue it going. Now, this is really interesting because we've got Shiraz and Wilkinson talking about the political impact of this interview to Higgins before the interview goes to air. You can really tell that there is interest from them about the political impact, right? So, yeah, question is whether or not it mattered as much to Higgins about the political impact as it did to Network 10. Discussion in the recording included whether the then opposition leader, Anthony Albanese, who, by the way, is now the Prime Minister, Albo, could play a role in promoting the story's progression. Wilkinson said clearly in the recording that Albanese is a bit of a dead duck at the moment. Right, so this is all political talk, right? And it's supposed to be about a woman who has been assaulted. Happens to be in Parliament House.
Yeah, but politics ruins everything, and all things are politic, especially when it takes place in the House, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, what's going on here? Did I have a
big day today? What was your big day today, Vio? Did you get some more?
What was a big day?
I've been trying to push this video in the Turtle Boy circles.
Yeah. All right. So that was the end of day 8, I believe. That was day 8. And so basically where we're at is she's still on the stand. She's still under cross-examination. Twitter is absolutely ridiculous at the moment. It is just, we've even got people who are like,
I have to start following more Aussies.
Well, like, just have a little bit of a look at my replies at the moment. If you just go and like check my replies to people, and you'll see a little bit of the stuff that's going on. And
I have seen a lot of your stuff.
Yeah, and just like look at the hashtag Lehrmann or the hashtag Higgins, and it will just blow your mind.
Who's CE Joe? Should I follow him?
Oh, that's Max Mirror.
Oh, please, is it really? I'm following him. Oh, I'm already following him. Never mind.
Yeah, that's Max
Mirror. I shouldn't have said that, but yeah.
Yeah. Should have said what?
Nothing.
I'm following.
I said his name.
Kangaroo Court of Australia.
That's all right. He said that before. Yeah, Kangaroo Court of Australia. He's a blogger and a YouTuber, and he is very much in the support Higgins camp, and very much in the bring down the Conservative government camp. A very emotional person, as far as I'm concerned.
Who's GJ? That guy. I didn't realize that she was on trial.
Yeah. And then she's not on trial. She's a witness.
Congratulations, Bill.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, you got a big promotion. Oh, yay.
I just hope it doesn't affect you making court videos for
Yeah,
us.
it better not be more hours, man.
I know.
It better not stop you from doing the
Less
things.
hours, more pay.
for free.
That's what a promotion is.
Yeah, you need to make sure that you
No, seriously, congrats.
Oh, hello, MLM is fraud. Nice to have you here.
Higgins has been busted lying on so many times. Well, it sounds like it. We just talked about it, and it sounds like she has been. She plays the I don't remember, and I misremembered, and I got that date wrong. It's okay. It's just a week later, sort of card, which we see a lot of people do when they're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Hi, I'm Dave, by the way.
Hi, I'm Sal, by the way.
And I'm Hella. It's nice to have you here. But she didn't actually call the grape trial off at all. That's not how it happened. But that said, I do understand your point of view.
Why is she unable to work? Did that cover her nose job too? I swear she had a nose job.
Well, it didn't get better, so.
Higgins was given $3 million of taxpayer money because she's unable to work. Yeah, now that's another thing though, and it is a point of contention for many Australians. So she was given $3 million of taxpayers money because she's unable to work. Is that what it was? It was something to do with unsafe work practices or something like that.
I heard that. I heard that because it was the way it was phrased in your Australian lingo was something similar to like what we would have. We have OSHA here, Occupational Health and Safety Hazard, whatever. And so if the place was like unsafe, like let's say it had a bunch of asbestos, right? And you were all forced out and then you had some complications with it. There's a fund for that. And you could actually get paid money to compensate you for your lost wages, but as well as, you know, the damage to your health and things like that. And so that's what this sounded like, although that's not this situation. This is, I went on a bad date with, you know, a coworker kind of thing. It's like, I can't work now. Really? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so it's like they have for decades. When people with bad backs are busted mowing lawns. Yeah. So it's a little bit, like workers' compensation. So part of the reason that she was no longer able to work, then a few months later,
I feel like MLM is Australian.
Yes, MLM is speaking Australian. Absolutely. People with bad backs are busted mowing lawns. That does sound like someone speaking Australian. Absolutely. If I said I was unable to work. Oh, does MLM have a channel?
MLM has a channel.
MLM, if
Pyramid
you follow,
schemes?
No, I don't think so. Oh, MLM is a fraud. That's probably MLM, meaning multi-level marketing.
Oh, okay, because it's like infiltrating a pyramid scheme. Those are so fun to. I just always remember to The Office when Michael Scott's talking about the American Office when he's talking about this multi-level marketing and what's his name has to turn it like upside down and show him that
Jim.
Yes, MLM, you're right. If you said you were unable to, sorry, Dali, if you're right. If I said I was unable to go to work, got a payout, and then you worked, you would be put in jail. Absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. And welcome to chat, by the way. Yes. I hope you stick around and stay for further streams.
She's got a video on Amway. That's in my state. Amway's a Michigan.
Do you have a video on Amway, MLM?
Yeah, he's got a video.
Wow.
What was the Jody Arias MLM?
Legal Shield or something it's called now. It's prepaid legal services.
Yeah,
that's a big scam. But there are attorneys that take it, but their pay is way too low for me, so I don't take it.
Oh, Herbalife. Hey, MLM, do you know about Isogenics? You would. Have you guys not heard of Isogenics? Isogenics is huge here.
No, but I'm going through his channel right now.
Yeah, Isogenics is the one, like they go after people and they basically say, you're fat and do you want to stop being fat? Because being fat's bad. And by the way, here's some powders that can make you not fat.
I'm going to steal a comedian's joke, but I think it's so poignant that literally I'm going to steal this joke. You ever notice that they changed the word snake to essential and they started selling the oil again?
Oh.
That's not mine. I literally stole that. But
yeah, they stopped selling the snake oil, just the
they
essential.
stopped. They changed the word snake to essential, and they started selling the oil again.
They started selling the oil again. Okay, I'm going to chuck some links in now. So what we have is just a moment.
99% plus loss rate. Yeah, no, exactly. My ex-wife got caught up in some Amway stuff years ago, before we got married even. But there's a guy who swore by it.
Still married her?
Well, it was at the time when like everyone was doing it. And I'm like, it's encouraging. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to try to do this, that's fine. I mean, just understand. I knew I was just sort of pissing money away, but she didn't.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, it was
happy wife, happy life. Dali, did you just put Emma Abroad's YouTube up? Did you? That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Great. Yeah, we'll go and check out your channel, Emma Abroad. Awesome. The other thing I wanted to just put up is David's channel. So check out Making It All Simple Network and see what all the buzz is about. There he is there. David is a wonderful creator, and he also creates a space for other creators to hang out and to grow.
In fact, I just launched a new channel, a Griff channel in my Discord for McKinley. Legally Live is her channel. Yeah, she's been a member and she just finally made it into Discord. And so she's got a new Griff stream too. But we have a bunch of creators with their channels in my Discord.
That's exactly. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put up the link for.
Well, your dad has been in Amway for 23 years. There's people that swear by it. They'll consume all the stuff because Amway sells a lot of like prepackaged food and drinks, energy drinks, and like anything that all that prepackaged granola, whatever, Amway sells. And people buy it, but then they also try to get other people under them to buy it for themselves, which then gets them money. There's a guy that's been doing it. It's got to be 40 years now. And he's got a day job, but you go down in his basement and it's just boxes of Amway stuff. God. And I don't know, he's just like obsessed with it.
It should be illegal.
Overpriced.
It should be illegal. I don't understand how it's
illegal. I still believe in people's right to contract, even if they're contracting to spend their money on BS.
But stupid.
They're upfront and honest about it. Amway is upfront. It's not like a scheme, right? It's not a trick. There's no fraud. You know what you're getting yourself into. It's like if someone wants to say, I'm going to be a professional sports player when they grow up, right? Well, you have millions of kids thinking that. And then even less of them are going to get into any sort of recreational sport. And even less of them are going to make it to high school. And even less of them are going to make it to college. And then a fraction of a fraction of a fraction are actually going to make it at the professional level. But should that be illegal, professional sports, because only a fraction make it?
I just wanted to mention that if you go to the link that I've got on the screen right now and you become a member of David's channel, you get live alerts to myself, Daily Talk, and all friends of MLS. And you get to hang out and be part of the background chat, watch parties, things like that. So small creators like myself and Dali, who are not monetized yet, aren't able to provide member perks, but David provides a place where we can do those things. So thank you to David for that. And it's only a very small amount per month, and you get to have access to all those wonderful things.
I want to talk more with MLM.
Yep. Okay, sure, you can have a chat with MLM after the stream. Now, also, I put a few other things up. The link to the live stream, Monday's live stream on the Federal Court of Australia YouTube is there. Click on that and click the notification button. That way you will get a link to that.
When she says Monday stream, I will tell you it's 6 p.m. on Sunday if you're in the Eastern time zone. Okay. So if you're in my time zone, it's like 6 p.m. Eastern is when that stream goes live and you can watch this.
That's a great point. Excellent. Even if you only watch it for an hour, maybe 20 minutes, whatever you watch.
It's very interesting. I've been watching a lot of it.
Super interesting. Have you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of it. It's been streaming for like, I don't know how many hours a day, but and I've probably watched maybe a total of 3 hours. So not a lot of it really. Yeah. But enough that I'm kind of up to speed on some of the stuff. I've seen Higgins testify. I don't like her. I don't like her posture, right? And I know this is in front of a judge and not a jury, but judges are people too, and I don't like her posture.
Yep. What do you think of the judge?
I like him. I know every morning he reads his thing. There shall be no recording or image capture of blah blah blah. I think he's being told to do that. I don't know. Is there a rule like you can't do that? Or is it his personal rule?
It's okay. In Australia, we're just not used to this, right? And there's this thing called sub judice, I think it is, like before the courts. And you're commenting on something that is happening in process. So the rules are that if you're commenting on something that's happening actually as it's going on, it could influence the actual outcome of the trial, right?
Even though he's the one that decides.
Yeah, I know.
Even though it's being live broadcast while the people are testifying.
And it's his choice to live broadcast it. Yeah.
I don't. Well, it's the same frustration I have with the federal courts here in the United States. It's just this. It doesn't make sense. Somebody was asking me, because I was streaming in the Supreme Court yesterday, and someone was asking me why they don't have cameras and why they don't do it live. I honestly, I don't have a good answer. I cannot wrap my head around a good justification for that, other than they don't want to.
Well,
and they don't have to.
Then you'd be seeing the January 6th trial.
Well, because the ones who would decide that constitutionally requires them to broadcast it is them. So if they don't want to, it's not happening.
The Supreme Court, or would they have to make the changes?
Well, so what you would have to do is you'd have to argue that the First Amendment in the Constitution and other provisions of the Constitution require that courts be open and including streaming, right? Well, who interprets the Constitution? The Supreme Court. Supreme Court has rule-making authority over the rest of the federal courts. So you have to convince the Supreme Court to say that they must stream under the Constitution. So if they don't want to, they will not say so.
How would you get that issue? Because you'd have to bring that issue to them. They couldn't just decide that, right?
Well, they have original jurisdiction on that issue. So I feel like you could file it. But remember, the Supreme Court can decide which cases it wants to take and which ones it doesn't. So it can basically say, I don't want it. We're not going to take this case up.
But it would take somebody actually filing a case, I guess.
Yeah. And the Congress can't pass a law to tell them what to do. Just look at what happened with the ethics rules for the Supreme Court justices. That whole thing that's been going on for the last month. There's no law that Congress could pass that the Supreme Court would have to follow because they're a separate entity.
Yeah.
So unless they decide they want to, it's not happening.
So there'd have to be a big enough outcry.
Yeah.
MLM is fraud. If you want to talk to David on Twitter, there's his Twitter.
Oh yeah. Tweet at me or DM me or whatever.
He says stuff on Twitter X sometimes.
Yes, I do.
There he is. And he's always very supportive of all of us. A couple other things that I have put up is the Channel 7 expose, Bruce Lehrmann Breaks His Silence Part 1. That's the one you can look at to see Higgins and Shiraz and Wilkinson and the executive producer of the project all talking about what they're going to be saying in the project interview and also when to announce it. All of that sort of juicy stuff. There's about 5 hours of audio which Channel 7 got hold of. So that's all in the first part of the expose. The second part is Lehrmann actually talking to the media for the very first time. That's in Lehrmann Breaks His Silence, Trial and Error, 7 News Spotlight. So I always post those two because they are really his first chance to ever speak and have some sort of recourse to the media. That was after his criminal trial was aborted and we found out that he was never going to have a chance to be declared guilty or not guilty. So that's that. The other thing I just wanted to say is I have a background on the Lehrmann Higgins saga. It's a timeline, nice concise timeline and that is about a half-hour video, a bit less. Actually, it's about 25 minutes. You can watch that one, and if you have no idea about this, you can just follow it from beginning to up to right to this point, November 2022, and now in December, and you'll be right up to speed, and you can know exactly what we're all talking about. Anything else that I posted there?
Oh, Jensen's stream tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Jensen's stream tomorrow. Tell us all about the Jensen stream.
It'll be after Jody, 2 p.m. Eastern, and do more Peens of Our Lives.
What is Peens of Our Lives? There's new people watching.
Mark Jensen is a very weird individual who unalived his wife. He has a fascination with peens of different shapes and sizes. But anyways, he unalived his wife, got it convicted, then had a new trial after it was overturned. In the meantime, he wrote a 500-page manuscript about everything that happened. And we're just getting to the juicy parts now. So that's it.
Yeah, cool. And it's so much fun. And I'm on there, and Lehrmann's on there, and everyone watches it, and it's so much fun. Okay, so that's that. David, do you have anything that you want to grift right now?
Jody Arias trial tomorrow, noon Eastern, 6 p.m. Swedish time. Every Saturday and Tuesday, we stream the Jody trial. Also, we have, or I have a new weekly stream, which is 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, which is going to be a legal news update where I talk about various trials that are going on and try to give an update on them or talk about them in their entirety if they took less than a week, so that all you folks that are unable to watch the trials live, you can at least get some educated commentary and information about them. So check that out.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. And I want to really, really thank David for being here today. I know you're very busy. Dali, as always, my co-host, you are so wonderful, and I always love having you around. Everyone in chat, thank you for being here. People on the Twitters who are watching, thank you. And it's time for me to sign out. And I'm going to actually post a link to, I don't have the actual link to Nick's stream, but I'm going to post a link to Nick's YouTube channel, because I think right now Nick has his Finally Friday on, and that's where I'm going to be heading.
I'll be there shortly.
Yeah,
I've been trying to figure out a way to get out of this treehouse and go get a beer, but that's not happening. I broadcast from a treehouse, by the way.
He does broadcast from a treehouse. That's why he is lawyer in the High Castle.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I'm going to sign out now. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, morning, noon, or night, wherever you are on this round Earth. Night-night.
Night.
Bye.